My child, I need you to stop right now. Just stop. Stop what you are doing. Stop the noise. Stop the spinning inside your mind. Stop the voices that keep telling you that you are not going to make it. Stop reaching for the next thing to numb the pain. Stop pretending you are fine when every single part of you is screaming that you are not. Just stop and listen. Because I have been waiting for this moment. I have been waiting for the exact second when you would be still enough, quiet enough, broken open enough to finally hear what I have been trying to tell you for a long, long time. I see you. I see you right now, exactly as you are, not as you wish you were, not as you used to be, not as others think you are. I see the real you, the tired you, the one who smiles for everyone else but cries alone in the dark. The one who has prayed the same prayer so many times that the words have started to feel hollow, like dropping stones into a well you are no longer sure has any water. The one who has started to wonder, quietly, in the deepest, most secret part of yourself, whether I am even listening at all. I am listening. I have always been listening. Every whispered prayer, every silent tear on a pillow at midnight, every desperate drive where you turn the music up loud enough to drown out the sound of your own heart breaking. I heard it all. I heard every single word, and even the words you could not say, the ones that got stuck somewhere between your chest and your throat. I heard those too. I know the prayers you have given up on. I know the hopes you buried, because hoping felt too dangerous. I know the things you stopped asking for, because you did not want to be disappointed one more time. And I need you to know something. My silence was never absence. Read that again. My silence was never absence. There is a difference between a God who does not answer and a God who is working in ways you cannot yet see. There is a difference between a father who has forgotten his child and a father who has been laboring through the night, through every night, through this entire season of your suffering, to bring something forth that will change everything. I have not forgotten you, not for a single moment, not for a single breath, not even when you felt most alone, most invisible, most convinced that you had somehow slipped through the cracks of heaven itself. You have never slipped through my hands. You cannot. My hands are too big, too wide, too strong, and my love for you is too fierce for you to ever fall through. But I know that is hard to believe right now, and that is okay. I am not angry at your doubt. I am not disappointed in your exhaustion. I am not surprised by your broken faith, because I am the one who watched every single thing that broke it. I watched every betrayal. I watched every diagnosis. I watched every door slam shut in your face. I watched you put everything you had into something that crumbled anyway. I watched the relationship end. I watched the money run out. I watched the body fail. I watched the grief settle in like a permanent houseguest you never invited and cannot seem to make leave. I watched all of it, and it broke my heart too. I want you to understand that. I want it to sink into the deepest place inside you, that hollow place where hope used to live before life knocked it loose. I want it to fill that place like warm light fills a dark room. I am not distant from your pain. I am not sitting on some faraway throne, untouched and unmoved by what you are going through. I am Emmanuel. I am here, right here, in the room with you, in this moment, as close as your own breath, as near as the beating of your own heart. I have been with you through every single hard moment, every single one. And now I am here to tell you that something has shifted. Something has already shifted. I know you may not feel it yet. I know your body may still be in pain. I know your heart may still be aching. I know the circumstances may look exactly the same as they did yesterday and the day before that. I know the report may still say what it says. I know the account may still say what it says. I know the relationship may still feel what it feels. I know the grief may still be heavy, and the anxiety may still be loud, and the future may still look uncertain. But I need you to hear me clearly right now. Feelings are not facts. Circumstances are not the final word. What you can see with your eyes is not the totality of what is real. Because there is a realm you cannot see with your natural eyes, and in that realm, things have already been set in motion. A decree has already been released. A healing has already been dispatched. A word has already been spoken over your life, from a throne that has never been wrong, never been too late, and never once run out of power. The heavenly cure has already been sent. I said it, and I need you to receive it. Not just hear it, receive it. There is a difference between hearing a thing and letting it land in your spirit, letting it take root, letting it become something you stand on, something you breathe, something that rewrites the story you have been telling yourself about what is possible for your life. The heavenly cure has already been sent. This is not a promise waiting to be fulfilled someday. This is not a maybe, a perhaps, a we will see. This is not contingent on you being perfect enough, strong enough, faithful enough, or spiritually put together enough. I sent it before you even asked. I sent it before you even knew you needed it. I sent it in the same eternal moment that I knit you together in your mother's womb and called you good, called you loved, called you chosen, and called you mine. I need to ask you something. How long have you been carrying this? How long have you been shouldering the weight of this particular pain, this particular fear, this particular thing that wakes you up at 3 in the morning and will not let you go back to sleep? How long have you been pretending it does not hurt as much as it does? How long have you been smiling through the appointments, through the conversations, through the Sunday mornings and the holiday dinners and the ordinary Tuesdays, while inside you were drowning? I know how long. I counted every day. And I want to say something to you that I need you to really hear, not just with your mind, but with that deep place in you. That place where your truest self lives, where the child in you still exists. The one who used to believe in miracles. The one who used to pray without wondering if anyone was listening. The one who used to have a faith that felt big and bright and unshakable. You have carried this long enough. It is time to put it down. Not because you are giving up, not because you are surrendering to defeat, but because you are surrendering to me. And those two things could not be more different. Giving up is dying. Surrendering to me is living. Giving up is the end of the story. Surrendering to me is where the story finally gets good. Giving up is closing your hands. Surrendering to me is opening them wide, palms up, saying, I cannot fix this. I cannot carry this. I cannot control this. And I am done pretending that I can. And the moment those hands open, my hands can get to work. That is what I have been waiting for. Not for you to suffer more, not for you to prove yourself, not for you to figure out the exact right combination of spiritual disciplines to unlock my favor, not for you to somehow become deserving of what I freely give. I have been waiting for the moment you would stop striving, stop straining, stop clawing at the edges of a control you never really had, and just let go. Let me in. My child, I want to talk to you about what this pain has done to you. Not to make you feel worse, but because I think you have been so busy just surviving it, that you have not fully acknowledged what it has cost you. And I want to name it. I want to look at it with you. Because healing does not happen in the dark, and I am a God who brings things into the light, not to shame them, not to expose them, but to heal them. The pain has made you small. I do not mean that as a criticism. I mean it as an observation, as a father watching his child curl inward to protect a wound. You were not always this small. There was a version of you, maybe a long time ago, maybe not that long ago, who dreamed bigger, who walked taller, who believed that extraordinary things were not just possible, but were coming. That version of you had an expectancy, a brightness, a sense that the world was wide and that your life within it had real and holy purpose. The pain has dimmed that, and I understand why. When you have been disappointed enough times, the heart learns to lower its expectations as a form of self-defense. When you have believed for something and it did not come, the mind starts to build walls around the hoping place, because it would rather feel nothing than feel that specific kind of heartbreak again. When your body has failed you, or someone you loved has failed you, or life itself has failed you, the natural human response is to shrink, to hide, to protect. But I did not create you to be protected. I created you to be free. And the cage you have built around your own heart, the one made of disappointment and grief and learned helplessness and quiet despair, my child, I have come to break it open, not gently, not in a way that leaves the structure intact, so you can climb back in when things get scary. I have come to destroy it. Because that cage, whatever it was built from, whether it was built from a childhood that hurt you, from a relationship that wrecked you, from a body that betrayed you, from a loss that hollowed you out, from a failure that defined you for far too long, that cage is not your home. It was never your home. It only became familiar because you have been in it so long. But familiar is not the same as right. Familiar is not the same as safe. Familiar is not the same as where you belong. You belong in the open. You belong in the wide, unenclosed, breathtaking landscape of a life lived under my care, in my freedom, walking in the fullness of everything I dreamed when I dreamed you into being. You belong in the place where healing is not a distant hope, but a present reality, where joy is not a performance, but a genuine overflow, where peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of a God who is bigger than every single one of them. That is where I am taking you. And the journey starts right now. Not tomorrow, not after things improve, not after you feel ready, because you may be waiting a very long time for that particular feeling. And I do not operate on the schedule of your readiness. I operate on the schedule of my purpose, which is perfect, which is already written, which has accounted for every detour and delay and dark season, and has still, with absolute precision and absolute love, mapped a path that leads you somewhere good. Right now, in this moment, I want you to take a breath, just one. Breathe in. Feel that? That is not just air. That is me, moving in you, through you, sustaining you. Every breath you have ever taken has been a gift. Every heartbeat is a mercy. You have been held together by my hand through every single moment of this difficult season, and you may not have felt it, but the feeling has nothing to do with the fact of it. I held you when you could not feel me. I held you when you pushed me away. I held you when you did not believe I was there. I have been holding you this whole time, and I am not letting go. Now let me tell you about your pain, because I want to talk about it directly. I know some of you listening to this right now are carrying something in your body, something that the doctors have given a name to, or something that has no name yet, but that you feel every single day when you wake up. Something that limits you, something that frightens you, something that has stolen things from you that you grieve, stolen your energy, your mobility, your independence, your sense of who you are apart from this sickness. Something you have prayed about until prayer felt like shouting into empty space. I see your body. I created it. Every cell, every synapse, every system working in intricate, beautiful concert. I designed it. And when it breaks, when it turns on itself, when it suffers, I see that too. I am not unaware. I am not unable. I am the God who made blind eyes see and deaf ears hear, and lame legs carry their owners running through the streets with joy so overwhelming they could not contain it. I am the God who spoke, and the molecules rearranged themselves, and the disease retreated, and the pain lifted, and the body that had been a prison became a vessel of testimony. That same God is here, right now, in this moment, with you. And I am releasing something over your body today. Not because you have earned it, not because your faith is perfect, or your prayers are perfectly worded, or your life is completely in order. I am releasing it because I love you, and because I am good, and because my power has never needed your worthiness as a prerequisite. My power just needs an open door, and that door is your willingness to receive what I am giving. Open your heart right now. Say it, even if you have to whisper it, even if your voice shakes, even if you only half believe it. I receive this. Those 3 words, spoken in whatever faith you have, even the small, stuttering, bruised faith that has survived everything you have been through. Those 3 words are enough, because faith does not have to be large. A mustard seed of faith in a limitless God produces limitless results. Your faith does not power my miracle. Your faith just opens the channel. My love and my power do the rest. And some of you, I need to speak to you now about something different. Something that lives not in the body, but in the mind, in the soul, in the invisible interior landscape of who you are. Some of you are not primarily suffering physically. You are suffering emotionally, spiritually, in that quiet, private, internal place where the wounds from other people live, where the words that were spoken over you years ago are still echoing, where the relationship that ended is still somehow present in every new relationship, every moment of potential connection, poisoning it before it can grow. Where the loss you have not fully grieved is living in your chest like something calcified, like a stone where softness used to be. Some of you are struggling with anxiety, so relentless it has become the background noise of your life, so constant you have almost stopped noticing it, except when it spikes into something that takes your breath away. Some of you are in the grip of a depression, so deep and so quiet that you do not even call it depression. You just call it being tired. Just call it being realistic. Just call it the way things are. Some of you are carrying a shame so heavy and so old that you have forgotten there was ever a time you were not carrying it. Forgotten what it felt like to stand upright without this weight pressing down on you from everywhere at once. I know all of it. And I need you to hear this carefully, because this is something the world will not tell you. Something the cultural voices around you will not say. Something that can only come from me. Your emotional pain is not weakness. It is not a failure of faith. It is not a lack of willpower. It is not evidence that you are not trying hard enough, or praying hard enough, or believing hard enough. It is evidence that you are human, that you have been through real things, that real things have happened to you, and they have had real effects. And that is not weakness. That is the natural consequence of being a person who feels, who loves, who hopes, who trusts, and who has been hurt. And I do not look at your emotional wounds with disappointment. I look at them with tenderness, because I know exactly what made each one. I know the specific moment, the specific word, the specific look on someone's face, the specific silence when you needed someone to speak up for you and no one did. I know the thing that happened when you were too young to have any defenses against it. I know the relationship you thought was safe, was your place of rest and refuge, and then turned out to be the source of your deepest wound. I know the dream you let yourself believe in, the one you maybe even told people about, the one you made plans around, and then it died, and part of you died with it. I know, and I am not here to tell you it did not hurt. I am here to tell you it does not have to stay. Healing from emotional pain is not the same as forgetting. It is not the same as pretending it did not happen, or finding a way to explain it away, or talking yourself into a more positive perspective. It is not the toxic positivity of pretending everything is fine. It is not the spiritual bypassing of refusing to look at the wound. Real healing means the thing happened, and it was real, and it hurt, and it is seen and acknowledged and wept over if it needs to be wept over. And then, and only then, does something begin to shift. That shift is what I bring. I bring a healing that goes down into the deepest layers of a wound. I bring a healing that does not just touch the surface, that does not just address the symptoms while leaving the root intact. I bring a healing that goes all the way down, to the lie you believed about yourself because of what someone did to you, to the place where you decided you were unlovable, to the place where you decided you were too much or not enough, or fundamentally broken in some way that put you beyond the reach of real love and real belonging. Those lies have to go. They were never true. Not for a single second were they true. Not the lie that says you are too damaged for restoration. Not the lie that says your story is too far gone for redemption. Not the lie that says your body is beyond healing. Not the lie that says God has moved on, found better, more faithful people to pour His blessing into, and left you behind. Not the lie that says you are ordinary and unimportant, and your life does not really matter in the grand scheme of things. Every single one of those lies was whispered by the enemy of your soul, and every single one of them was specifically tailored to the exact contours of your woundedness, designed to fit perfectly into the gaps that life left in you, to nestle in there and feel like truth, feel like your own voice, feel like the obvious conclusion of available evidence. But they are not your voice. They were never your voice. Your voice, the truest, deepest, most essential voice of who you really are, sounds like this. I am a child of God. I am loved with a love that has no beginning and no end. I am not defined by my worst moment, or my hardest season, or the names I was called, or the things I lost. I am defined by the one who made me, and He says I am good. He says I am worth everything. He says the very hairs of my head are numbered, and the days of my life are written, and I am not here by accident, and I do not exist by chance, and my pain does not have the last word. That is your true voice, and right now, in this moment, I am speaking it back to you, because you have spent too long listening to the counterfeit. Let me tell you what I see when I look at you. I see strength, not the brittle performative strength that says, I am fine, I have got this, I do not need help. I mean a deep, quiet, tested strength that has survived things that should have broken you and did not. A strength you may not recognize as strength because it doesn't feel triumphant. It feels like barely holding on. But barely holding on for this long, through this much, that is not weakness. That is extraordinary. That is the kind of perseverance that the whole of heaven watches with something close to awe. I see faithfulness, even in the doubt, even in the struggle, even in the seasons where the prayers felt like nothing and the silence felt deafening and you honestly were not sure you believed anymore. You kept going. You kept showing up. You kept reaching, even when you were not sure what you were reaching for. That reaching, that relentless reaching, I saw it. I counted every single instance of it, and I called it faith, because faith is not certainty. Faith is reaching for something you cannot fully see. I see beauty. Real, deep, particular beauty. Not the kind that the world evaluates and quantifies, but the kind that I see when I look at the soul I fashioned, the unique and irreplaceable configuration of gifts and passions and perspectives that exist in you and only you. When you are gone from this earth, the specific light you carry will be gone with you, and the world will be measurably darker for it. You are not replaceable. You are not interchangeable. You are singular and specific and dearly, particularly loved. I see someone worth fighting for, and I am fighting. I have been fighting on your behalf in places you cannot see, in realms beyond your awareness, in the spiritual architecture of your situation. I have been working. I have been moving pieces. I have been speaking words over you that were established before the foundations of the earth were laid. I have been holding back things that were meant to destroy you, and drawing toward you things that are meant to restore you. And the work is not finished, but it is well underway. And what I have started, I am faithful to complete. I need you to trust me. I know that is the hardest thing I can ask you. I know that trust has been broken in your life by people who did not deserve the trust you gave them. And I know that somewhere along the way, the breaking of human trust became tangled up with your trust in me. I know you have prayed, and it felt like silence. I know you have hoped, and it felt like disappointment. I know you have tried to believe and felt like faith itself was betraying you. But I am not like the people who failed you. I am not operating on human limitations. I do not have hidden agendas. I do not have bad days where I decide I am done with you. I do not get distracted or overwhelmed or too preoccupied with other things to remember your name. I am not bound by time, which means the delays you experience are not delays in my perception. They are part of a perfect and precise unfolding that I can see from beginning to end in a single eternal view. And every element of it, including the parts that feel like waiting and silence and nothing happening, is purposeful. Every waiting season has been a growing season. Even if you cannot see the growth yet, even if you feel like you have been in the same place for so long that you have started to wonder if you are somehow stuck, permanently stuck, in a life that is not moving forward. Growth in seasons of waiting is often underground. It is the deep work of the root system before the plant breaks the surface. It is the invisible, interior restructuring that must happen before the visible, external transformation can occur. And the waiting has not been wasted, not one day of it. But now, and I want you to feel the weight of this word, now. Now is the moment. This is the holy visitation I have been leading you toward. This is the divine appointment that was always on the calendar, that was written before you were born, that every single experience in your life, every joy and every sorrow, every breakthrough and every breakdown, every moment of strength and every moment of complete collapse was preparing you for. This moment, right now, where everything changes, not because of what you do next, not because of how you respond or perform or demonstrate your faith, but because I have decreed it, because I have spoken it, because I am God. And when I say a thing, it is so. When I say healing, healing comes. When I say restoration, restoration begins. When I say enough, enough suffering, enough darkness, enough weight on this particular child of mine, the universe rearranges itself to make room for the blessing I am releasing. Receive it. Right now, open your hands, open your heart, open the innermost place in you, the place that has been closed and shuttered and locked for protection, the place that you swore you would never open again because it has been hurt so many times. Open it. I know it is terrifying. I know it feels like risk. I know the last time you opened it, something bad happened, and you have been paying for that ever since. But I need you to understand something fundamental about the nature of risk as it applies to me. I am not a risk. Opening yourself to human love is a risk, because human beings are fallen and flawed and limited, and sometimes they fail. It is the only truly safe thing you can do, because I am the only source of love that is completely trustworthy, completely limitless, and completely devoted to your good. There is no version of this where you open your heart to me and I let you down. There is no version of this where I betray the trust you are extending right now. There is no version of this where my love fails. Love is not what I do. Love is what I am. And I am for you. I have always been for you. I was for you before you were for yourself. I was for you when you were against yourself. I will be for you in every season, and every circumstance, and every failure, and every success, and every ordinary, unremarkable Tuesday in between. And my being for you never fluctuates, never tires, never dims. You are safe with me. My child, I want to talk to you about fear for a moment, because I know it. I know the particular flavor of fear that has been living in your body. Some fears have a name: fear of the diagnosis, fear of the future, fear of being alone, fear of failure, fear of not being enough, fear of losing what you have, fear of never getting what you need. And some fears are vaguer than that, just a constant, low-grade hum of danger that your nervous system has been maintaining for so long it has started to feel like a normal state of being. Fear is not your friend. I know it presents itself as a friend, sometimes, as protection, as vigilance, as wisdom, as the responsible, realistic part of you that keeps your expectations in check, so you are never too devastated by disappointment. But that is fear's deception. Fear is not protecting you. Fear is keeping you from the very things I have for you. Fear is the lock on the cage. Fear is the voice that says, do not hope too much, do not reach too far, do not trust too deeply, do not believe for things too big, because you know how this ends. Fear can only project the patterns of the past onto the future. And the future I have for you is not a repetition of the past. I am doing a new thing. Do you not perceive it? I know you may not be able to see it yet, but that does not mean it is not happening. There are things in motion in your life right now that you cannot see from where you are standing. Things that are being prepared, things that are being aligned, things that are being removed, and things that are being drawn close. And when the curtain finally pulls back, and you can see what I have been doing, your primary response will not be relief. It will be wonder. You will stand in the middle of what I have done, and you will not even have words for it. You will stand there with your hands over your mouth and your eyes full of tears, and you will remember this moment, this exact moment, right now, where you were still in the middle of the hard thing, still in the darkness, still not sure. And you will understand why I asked you to trust me before you could see the outcome. Because faith that waits for evidence is not faith. Faith that trusts in the darkness, that holds on when there is nothing to hold on to, that refuses to release the hand of a God it cannot feel. That is the faith that moves mountains. That is the faith that I can work with. That is the faith that changes things. And I know your faith has been battered. I know it is not at full strength right now. I know you are operating on what feels like the last little bit of it, the reserves, the bottom of the barrel. And I need you to know that the bottom of the barrel of faith in me is more than enough. Because it is not about the quantity of your faith, it is about the object of your faith. And the object of your faith, the God you are barely, tremblingly, exhaustedly reaching toward, is infinite. Bring me your broken faith. Bring me your doubts and your questions and your unresolved wounds and your theological arguments and your fear that maybe none of this is real. Bring me the faith that is more mustard seed than mountain, more flicker than flame. Bring me all of it. I will not reject it. I will not require you to upgrade it before I respond to it. I will meet you exactly where you are, in exactly the state you are in, with the whole of who I am. Come as you are. I keep saying that, and it keeps being true. Come as you are, not as you think you should be, not as you were last year when things felt more spiritually alive, not as the version of you that exists in your imagination when you think about who you could be if you got everything together. Come as you are right now, scared, hurting, tired, confused, not entirely sure this is real, and watch what I do with that. Watch what I do with the broken, imperfect, barely holding on offering of you. Because here is what I have always done with broken things. I redeem them. I restore them. I breathe new life into them. I pick up the scattered pieces of a life that has come apart, and I hold them all in my hands, and I press them back together in a way that is more beautiful than the original. Because the broken places, when they are healed by me, become the very places where my light shines through most clearly. The Japanese have a practice of repairing broken pottery with gold. They call it kintsugi, and the philosophy behind it is this: the breaking is part of the history, and the history is worth honoring. Rather than hiding the cracks or throwing the broken piece away, they fill the breaks with gold, and the repaired piece is considered more beautiful than the unbroken original, because the gold at the breaks tells a story of survival, of transformation, of being broken and becoming something more. That is what I do with my children. I fill your breaks with gold. I take your history of fracture and heartbreak and grief and failure, and I weave through it something luminous, something that transforms the narrative, something that takes the story of your pain and makes it the story of your redemption. And people who meet you after the healing, people who encounter the gold-filled version of you, the restored version, the free version, will see it. They will see the places where you were broken and healed, and they will want to know how and what you will tell them, what you will not be able to stop telling them, because it will be the truest thing in your life, is that God met you in the dark, in the hardest season, in the moment when you had nothing left, and He did not leave you there. He never leaves His people in the dark. He leads them through. There is a difference between being in the dark forever and traveling through the dark to reach the light. And you, my child, you are not stuck in permanent darkness. You are in transit. You are in the through. And the other side of what you are walking through right now is something worth the walk. I promise you that. I promise you with every ounce of the divine authority by which I created the world and sustain every living thing in it, that what is on the other side of this is worth every single hard step it takes to get there. So keep walking. Do not sit down in the middle of the through. I know you are tired. I know the walking has been hard. I know there have been moments when you were not sure you could take another step. And in some of those moments, you did not take another step. You fell. And I picked you up. And you fell again. And I picked you up again. And I will keep picking you up as many times as it takes, because that is not a test of your stamina. That is evidence of my faithfulness. I want to speak now about something very specific. I want to talk about the moment, maybe a recent moment, maybe an old one, when you made a decision that you have been carrying guilt about ever since. The decision that seemed right at the time, or seemed like the only option, or seemed like you did not have a choice, or maybe seemed completely wrong even as you were making it, but you made it anyway. The decision that you replay sometimes in the quiet, wondering what would have happened if you had chosen differently. The decision that you have made, the foundation of a story you tell about yourself that is not kind. I need you to hear me on this. I am not holding that against you. I am not sitting here with a ledger of your failures, tabulating the cost of your mistakes, waiting for the right moment to present you with the bill. That is not who I am. That is a distortion, a lie actually, about my character that I need to correct wherever it lives in you, because it is keeping you from the full, unencumbered reception of my love. My love does not require your perfection. My grace does not become available only after you have suffered sufficiently for your mistakes. My forgiveness is not something you work toward. It is something you receive. It is already yours. It was extended to you before you ever made the mistake you are still punishing yourself for. And it will still be fully in force long after you stop punishing yourself, which I am asking you, pleading with you, to do right now. Stop punishing yourself. You are not the judge of your own life. You are the beloved. And the beloved does not stand in judgment over themselves when the judge has already ruled in their favor. The verdict on your life is this: loved, forgiven, redeemed, chosen, called, purposed, worthy of every good thing I have planned for you. Not based on your performance, based on mine. And now I want to talk about the people who hurt you. I know this is complicated territory. I know some of the wounds you carry were given to you by people who should have been safe, people who should have protected you and loved you, and been the earthly representations of what I am like. And I know that some of those wounds are very deep, and some of those people have never apologized, and some of them may never apologize. And the question of what to do with all of that sits in you like an unresolved chord, unfinished, unresolved, creating a low-grade dissonance in the soundtrack of your life. I am not going to pretend that what was done to you was okay. It was not okay. I want to be very clear about that. Whatever was done to you that should not have been done, it was not okay with me. I did not approve of it. I did not ordain it. I was not sitting passively by while you were harmed and calling it part of my plan. I do not author cruelty. I do not design abuse. When my children suffer at the hands of other people, I grieve it. I grieve it with the specific, particular grief of a father who watched something precious to him be mistreated. And I hold the one who caused the harm accountable in ways that are beyond your sight, but are real and are just. Your pain was not invisible to me. It was never invisible to me. But here is what I need to tell you about the unforgiveness you may still be carrying. Not to make you feel guilty for having it. Unforgiveness, is one of the most natural human responses to real harm, but to tell you the truth about what it is doing to you, because I love you, and I will not let you stay in a prison that is costing you your freedom. Unforgiveness is not punishment for the one who hurt you. It is punishment for you. It is a chain that keeps you attached to the very thing, the very person, the very event that caused you harm. It is the way the past maintains a hold on your present. It is the mechanism by which someone who may not even be in your life anymore, or may be gone from this earth entirely, continues to influence the quality of your daily experience, your capacity for joy, your ability to be fully present in the life you are living now. Forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay. Forgiveness is not pretending it did not happen. Forgiveness is not restoring trust where trust has not been earned. Forgiveness is not even necessarily reconciliation. Forgiveness is releasing your claim to be the one who makes them pay. It is handing them over to me. It is saying, I am done carrying the weight of this debt. I am done being the one who maintains the account. I am putting this in your hands, God, because you are the only one with the wisdom and the power and the authority to handle it justly. And I am releasing it to you so that I can be free. That is what I am inviting you into. Not a cheap, dismissive, pretend forgiveness that minimizes real harm. A real, costly, liberating act of will, chosen not because the person deserves it, but because you deserve freedom. Because your future deserves to not be contaminated by your past. Because the beautiful life I have ahead of you requires two free hands to receive it, and you cannot have free hands if they are locked around a grievance. Open your hands. Let it go. Give it to me. I am strong enough to hold it. I am wise enough to judge it justly. I am good enough to take care of you in the aftermath of the releasing, to hold you while you grieve what was taken from you, to be the father, the comforter, the healer, the restorer of everything that was lost. I will restore what was lost. I said it and I mean it. I am the God of restoration. I am the God who takes the years the locusts have eaten and gives them back. I am the God who takes the thing that was meant to destroy you and uses it to define you in a way that is exactly the opposite of destruction. In a way that makes you more whole, more empathetic, more useful, more aware of what matters, more alive to grace than you could have been if the hard thing had never happened. The hard thing is not the end of your story. The hard thing is a chapter, an important chapter, one that you will read differently from the other side of what I am doing, but just a chapter. And I am the author, and I do not write tragedies. I write redemption stories. I write stories where the impossible becomes possible, and the broken becomes beautiful, and the things that were meant for evil become the very instruments of something extraordinarily good. Your story is a redemption story. You are in the middle of it right now. You are in the hard part, the part where it is not yet clear how it resolves, the part where the characters are still in the struggle and the ending is still out of sight. But I am the author, and I have already written the ending, and it is good. It is so good. When you get there, when you stand in the fullness of what I have written for you, you will understand things you cannot understand from where you are standing now. You will see the purpose in the pain, not because pain is good, but because I am good, and I waste nothing. In the economy of my love, even the suffering is redeemable. And now I need to ask you to do something that may be the hardest thing I have asked you today, harder than the forgiveness, harder than the surrender, harder even than the opening of the heart. I need you to believe, right now, not when it makes sense, not when the evidence supports it, not when the feelings catch up with the fact. Right now, in this moment, with everything in your life looking exactly the way it looks, I am asking you to choose belief, to choose it the way you would choose to take a step when you are not sure the floor will hold you, to choose it with fear still present, with doubt still present, with all the reasons for disbelief still fully in view. I am asking you to believe that what I have said is true, that I see you, that I love you, that I have been with you, that the healing has already been released, that the restoration is already underway, that the future I have written for you is worth the walk to get there, that right now, in this exact moment, something is shifting in the invisible realm that will become visible in your life sooner than you think, that you are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are not beyond my reach or beneath my notice or outside the scope of my care. Believe it. Say it out loud if you can. There is power in the spoken word. There is a reason I spoke the world into existence rather than simply thinking it. Words have power. Your voice has power. And when you speak truth over your own life, truth that contradicts the evidence before your eyes, truth that flies in the face of the fear that has been telling you a very different story, something happens in the spiritual atmosphere. Something shifts, something breaks, something opens. Say it right now. Say, I am seen, I am loved, I am not forgotten. My healing is here, my breakthrough is near. God is for me, and that is enough. Say it. Say it again. And again if you need to. Keep saying it until the saying of it starts to do something in you. Starts to feel less like words and more like territory. Like you are claiming something that belongs to you and has always belonged to you. Reclaiming it from the fear and the despair and the lie that said it was gone forever. It was never gone. I was keeping it for you. There is a moment in the story of the prodigal son that I love more than almost any other moment in the whole of Scripture. It is not the moment the son comes to his senses and decides to return home. It is not the moment the father sees him from a distance. It is not the robe, or the ring, or the feast. It is the moment before the son reached the house. While he was still a great way off, I saw him, and I ran. That is who I am. That is my character. That is the specific, revealed truth of my love. I do not wait for you to get your act together before I run to meet you. I do not wait for you to be fully repentant, fully cleaned up, fully certain of your welcome. I see you from a distance. I see you from an eternal distance. I see you from before you were born. I see you in every broken moment of your broken life. And I run. I run towards you with every ounce of divine velocity. And I meet you where you are, not where I wish you were. And I throw my arms around you. And I call for the robe and the ring and the feast, because my child who was lost is found. You are found. Whatever has made you feel lost, whatever dark wood you have been wandering in, whatever circumstances have disoriented you, whatever grief or fear or confusion has made the path unrecognizable, you are not lost to me. I know exactly where you are. I know exactly what you need. And I am not waiting for you to find your way back. I have already come to find you. Right here, right now, in this moment, I have come for you. And I need to tell you what is happening in your body right now, if you will receive it. Something is moving. The same spirit that raised Christ from the dead, that same spirit is moving through your physical body right now. Through every organ, every cell, every nerve, every system. Moving like warm water through dry places. Moving like light through a room that has been dark too long. Moving with intention and precision and the specific knowledge of every place in you that needs his touch. He knows your body better than any physician, any specialist, any expert with every diagnostic tool available. He knit it together. He knows the original design, and where the original design has been compromised, by disease, by damage, by the wear of hard living and hard suffering, he is restoring it to the original intention. Right now, while you read this, while you breathe, while your heart beats, sustaining this life that I have promised is not finished being remarkable. Let him into the places that hurt. The places you protect most fiercely are the places that need his touch most urgently. The wound you never show anyone, the pain that is too private to voice, the physical reality you hide because you are afraid of what it means. Bring it into the light right now. Not to a person, to me. Bring it to me and say, here it is. Here is the thing I have been afraid to let you see. Though I know that makes no sense, because you already see everything. Here it is, and I am asking you to heal it. I accept that prayer. Every version of it. Every shaky, uncertain, barely a prayer version of it. Every version that is more desperation than faith, more exhaustion than expectation. I accept all of it, and I respond to all of it. Because my response to your need is not calibrated to the quality of your asking. It is calibrated to the depth of my love, and the depth of my love has no bottom. I want to talk to you about hope now, because I think hope is the thing that has been most damaged in this season. More than anything else you have lost your capacity to hope without also bracing yourself for the loss of the hope. And I understand how that happened. I understand the mechanism of it, the way hope and disappointment became linked in your experience, until the experiencing of one almost inevitably preceded the experiencing of the other. But I need you to know that that linkage is not inevitable. It is a story that your history taught you, and a story I am writing a new chapter into right now. A new chapter that demonstrates a different reality, that hope in me is not naive. Hope in me is not wishful thinking, is not putting your head in the sand, is not refusing to engage with reality. Hope in me is the most realistic thing a person can do, because I am the most real thing that exists, and I am good, and I am powerful, and I am on your side. Let yourself hope. I know that is terrifying. I know it requires you to be vulnerable in a way that feels dangerous. I know the voice in the back of your mind is already preparing the defense against the disappointment that it predicts is coming. But I am asking you to try. I am asking you to allow the tiny, fragile, barely there ember of hope to be breathed on right now. Do not smother it with preemptive protection. Let it breathe and watch what happens. Hope is a seed, and a seed only produces something when it is planted in soil and watered. The soil is your openness. The water is my word. And the word I am speaking over you right now: healing, restoration, fullness, joy, freedom, love, new beginning. That word is being planted in the soil of your open heart, and it will produce. It always produces. My word does not return to me empty. I sent it out over your life, and it will accomplish what I sent it to do. And what I sent it to do is this: heal you, free you, restore you, build you into the fullest expression of the person I created you to be. Fill every hollow and every wound and every fear-carved empty place with something real and warm and unshakable and good. My child, we are getting close to the end of this time together, and I want to say some things that I need you to carry with you. I need you to carry the knowledge that you are not alone. Not in the past, not in the present, not in the future, not in the hospital, not in the dark at 3 a.m., not in the relationship, not in the grief, not in the fear, not in the waiting, not in the breakthrough, not in the joy when it comes. I am with you in all of it. Emmanuel, God with you, is not a seasonal name. It is a permanent, irrevocable, unconditional fact. I need you to carry the knowledge that your healing is real. It has been decreed. It has been released. It is moving towards you and through you right now. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your spirit, all of it is the target of a divine healing that I have personally authorized and personally dispatched. You did not earn it. You cannot lose it by failing to be good enough or faithful enough or certain enough. It is mine to give, and I am giving it freely and completely to you. I need you to carry the knowledge that the future I have for you is good. Not easy necessarily, not without challenge or growth or the beautiful resistance that makes strong things strong, but good, purposeful, aligned with who I created you to be, full of meaning and connection and moments that take your breath away, full of the deep satisfaction of being in the center of what you were made for, full of relationships that are characterized by love that is real and safe and sustaining, full of a sense of my presence that is so natural and so constant that it becomes the air you breathe. Not a dramatic encounter, not a spiritual high, just the ordinary, extraordinary awareness of living in the company of the God who made you and loves you and has never once taken his eyes off you. I need you to carry the knowledge that it is okay to receive. You have been a giver for so long. You have been the strong one, the reliable one, the one who holds it together for everyone else. And there is a beauty in that. But there is also an imbalance, and the imbalance has taken a toll. Today, I am asking you to shift, to be the receiver, to open your hands and your heart and your life to the receiving of what I am giving. Healing, rest, love, provision, restoration, joy, without immediately trying to earn it, explain it, understand it, or pass it on before you have let it fully arrive in you. Receive it for you, just for you, because you need it, because you matter, because your well-being is not a secondary concern after everyone else has been taken care of. It is a primary concern of mine, and I am attending to it right now, in this moment, with the full force of my love. And finally, my child, and this is the most important thing I will say, I need you to walk out of this moment differently than you walked in. Not necessarily feeling different. Feelings follow faith. They do not lead it. Not necessarily seeing differently, because the circumstances you will walk back into may look exactly the same, but believing differently. Carrying something in your spirit that was not fully there before. The unshakable, foundation-level knowledge that you have been seen and heard, and that the God of the universe is intimately and actively involved in the details of your life, and that the healing has been sent, and that the story is not over, and that the ending is good. Walk back into your life with that. Walk back into the diagnosis carrying the word of the healer. Walk back into the relationship carrying the peace of the God who is able. Walk back into the grief carrying the comfort of the Father who grieves with you and who holds every precious thing you have lost in eternal, perfect safekeeping. Walk back into the fear carrying the knowledge that perfect love casts it out, and the love that is present with you right now, in this moment, is the most perfect love that has ever existed or will ever exist. Walk back into the waiting, carrying the hope of a promised ending. Walk back into your life as someone who has had a visit from heaven, because that is what this has been, and you will never be the same. Healing is not always instantaneous. Sometimes it is immediate and undeniable. Sometimes it is a process, a journey, a gradual unfolding over days and weeks and months, where you look back from a distance and realize how far you have come. Realize that the thing that was so heavy no longer weighs what it did. Realize that the fear has diminished and the peace has grown, and something inside you that was twisted has been straightened, and something that was dead has begun to live again. Trust the process. Whether your healing comes like a lightning strike or like the slow, steady turning of a season, trust it. Cooperate with it. Do not resist it by reaching back for the familiar pain. Do not undo it by returning to the thought patterns and the agreements with darkness that kept you bound. Stay open, stay surrendered, stay in the posture of receiving, and stay in conversation with me. Do not let this be the only moment. Do not let this be the mountaintop you visit once and then descend from, never to return. Let this be the beginning of a way of living, a way of walking in continuous conversation with the God who is continuously present, continuously speaking, continuously working on your behalf. Talk to me like I am real, because I am. Talk to me like I hear you, because I do. Talk to me like my response matters, because it does, more than anything else in your life. My child, I love you. Not in the way that love is used and misused in human language, casually, as a social convention, as a performance of the feeling, rather than the thing itself. I love you with the love that was before time and will be after it. The love that knows you completely and chooses you anyway. The love that has seen your worst and your best and everything in between and finds you without any qualification, without any asterisk, without any version of fine print. Finds you worth everything, worth the cross, worth the price paid, worth the relentless, pursuing, refusing to give up love that has followed you through every dark corridor of your life, that has been whispering your name in the silence, that has been holding the door open on the other side of every hard season. You are worth it. You have always been worth it. And the healing that has been released over your life today, it is the expression of that worth. It is what love does when it has the power to act and the will to give, and the specific, particular beloved in front of it who needs what it can give. This is your moment. Not a moment to perform, not a moment to measure up, a moment to receive, to rest, to breathe, to let the walls down, just for now, just in this moment of holy visitation, and let the one who created you and redeemed you and loves you beyond your capacity to comprehend, let him in, all the way in, to the rooms you keep locked, to the places no one else has seen, to the wounds you have been managing alone, the fears you have not named aloud, the grief you have not let yourself fully feel, the hope you have not let yourself fully hold. Let me in. I will not hurt you. I will not judge you. I will not find something in there that makes me love you less, because nothing in you can make me love you less. I see it all already, and the seeing of it has not changed my heart toward you by a single degree. I am here. I am loving you. I am healing you, right now. This is real. This is happening. The heavenly cure is moving through you right now, like the warmth of the sun on a winter morning. Not dramatic, not loud, not demanding your performance. Just present, just warm. Just doing what it does, without fanfare, without your intervention, without your earning or explaining or managing. Just healing. Your body is receiving it. Your mind is receiving it. Your spirit is receiving it. The places that hurt are being touched. The places that are empty are being filled. The places that have been cold and closed and defended for too long are softening, opening, coming back to life. And my spirit is bearing witness with your spirit right now, in this moment. You are mine. You are loved. You are healed. You are free. That is not a promise for later. That is a declaration for now. Receive it, stand on it, walk in it, and know, from this day forward, in every moment of doubt and darkness and difficulty that comes, because difficult moments will still come, because that is the nature of this life. Know in those moments that you have been here. You have been in this room of divine encounter. You have felt this warmth. You have heard this voice. You have received this love. And I will never take it back. It is yours. Forever, it is yours. Go now, my child. Go in peace. Go in healing. Go in the knowledge that you are not the same person who started this encounter. Even if you cannot yet feel the difference. Even if the circumstances have not yet shifted. Even if it takes time for what has happened in the spiritual realm to fully manifest in the natural. It will manifest. I am faithful. I have never failed a child who trusted me, and I will not start with you. Go now, and as you go, carry this with you always. I am as close as your breath, as near as your heartbeat, as present in the ordinary moments as I am in the sacred ones. And the truth is, every moment with me is sacred. Every moment, including this one, including the next one, including every unremarkable, hard, beautiful, confusing, joyful, grief-saturated moment of the extraordinary, ordinary life I have given you to live. I am in all of it. You are never alone in any of it. And your healing has begun. Walk in it, believe it, receive it. It is already yours. It has always been yours. And so, my child, have I. Always. Yours always. For I am the Lord who heals you. Exodus 15:26. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147:3. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. I'd have come that they may have life, and have it to the full.